Good afternoon, students. I am Safarwa Khurshida, an English teacher of ESP Natural Sciences Department. Today, we will talk about practical and laboratory work. The objectives of our lesson are the following: to have a clear idea about how laboratory work develops. The next, to make practice and understanding of laboratory work of safety key. The third, and ability, the use of laboratory equipment in chemistry set. I have a question for students. Can you distinguish between two terms? Practical education is gaining popularity nowadays. Education is significant and must be acquired by all in order to gain knowledge and learn skills. It is the only key that can develop a whole generation of responsible human beings who can absorb good teachings and can impart it to many others. It teaches us about various things and opens up a vast variety of career options in front of us which one cannot for if left uneducated. Education can be imparted in a theoretical way or in a practical manner. But out of these two, which is more benefiting for the student and what should we value more? Practical education does not require marking up theory into practice. Knowledge retains in our mind, practical and theory develops a better understanding, includes practice, improves skills, involves application and deals with real life situations. It's more interesting. Practice, learn, think, study. Practical work can motivate teamwork. Interactive education creates a deeper impact. A theory can be proved by experiment, but no path leads from experiment to the birth of a theory. Albert Einstein. There is nothing more practical than a good theory. Nothing is as practical as a good theory. Kurt Lewin. Conclusion. It is 100 times better to concentrate on a practical education instead of theoretical education. Always, practical education is the best and effective thing for making the students understand better. Practice makes man perfect. Today, our glossary are the following. Students, listen attentively and repeat after me. Spheres, chemistry, physics, biology, art, medicine, literature, linguistics, economics, history, mathematics, physical training, computer sciences, architecture. The next activity. Read a reply of a well-known scientist to the second-year students of Samarkand State University. Decide if the statements are true or false. You should identify these sentences. Laboratory work requires a low level of knowledge. Is it true or false, students? It is false. Practical work has a great value in science. Is it true or false? It is true. If there was enough laboratory equipment, we couldn't be able to get full information about the process. It is false. Importance of practical work is always connected with its actuality, topicality. It is false. And laboratory experiment can play an important role in discovering innovative or new things. It is true. The next activity. Activity exercise number 11. Read the questions and answer them. What laboratory works do you often do at your educational institution? Could humanity reach the achievements we have already had without experiments? The greatest scholars could have never achieved the most significant results in science without proper plans. What life was like 700 or 1000 years ago? Imagine you were born in 1200. If I had been born 900 years ago, I wouldn't have known anything about research work. Dear students, you have asked me about the aim or functions of practical and laboratory work in science and its position at present time. First of all, I had to mention practical work. There are many purposes of practical work itself. Firstly, any practical work has a great value in science. Secondly, importance of practical work is always connected with topicality. Thirdly, we have to move from theory to practice. Only then comes scientific benefit. Science without practice is like living without breathing. Now I want to inform you about laboratory and life. Laboratory work can play an essential role in scientific benefits. Now I want to inform you about laboratory life. Any laboratory work can play an essential role in scientific field. In our developing society, it is important to emphasize that laboratory work requires a high level of knowledge, complete understanding of a process, laboratory safety peculiarities, laboratory equipment and laboratory techniques. If there was not enough laboratory equipment, there wouldn't be any fast development. You know that any science experiment should be conducted, firstly in laboratory. If there are positive results, then it can be applied to a society. That is why, my dear students, you have to improve your knowledge in your own field of interest. If you are good at both theory and practice, in this case you will achieve your goals in science. If you were not good at practice, laboratory experiment wouldn't be essential for achieving results. There is a proverb: practice makes perfect. Don't forget it. Now, I will put to tape script, listen attentively, and answer to my questions. Now students, listen as the tape script. Listen to the script attentively. This tape script is related according to our theme. Let's listen.
Dear sophomores, I've made time going to give you a very short and clear guide how to define your interest. Before listening tips, pre-paper with either pen pencil, near to actions and properly. Now, you are all having the needed equipment being guided to area. It's clearly the end of the batch. You will have submitted your research paper investigating a specific as well as problematic topic in a bit narrowed area. However, the majority of students feel hesitated in defining the topic of research, and it causes a late research delivery. Well, I will help you today. Let's get to the practical part of it. First, draw a coincide circle in the center of the sheet of the paper. Done? Very good. Now, write your study field. For example, the students of medical universities should symbolize the circle with medicine, as for the students of agriculture university can jot down agriculture. You have 10 seconds to think and put the major field down into the circle. Have you done? Now, map the circle out, writing the related subfields. In sample of medicine, the figure could be branched with sub-areas like dentistry, human medicine, optometry, pharmacy, public health, veterinary medicine, health management. Your mapping should consist of at least 5 subfields. You have 20 seconds to accomplish this task. Have you finished? Well done. Let's keep on the actions. The next step is based on your math, in particular calculating skill. Imagine, the field of medicine contains 100% of theory and practice-based knowledge. This 100% should be divided into the total number of subfields. For instance, in medicine, I have listed out 7 subfields and the outcome is equal around 14. Distribute the approximate knowledge of yours in each subfields out of maximum percent. Let's say I have good knowledge in dentistry required for bachelor degree, and out of 14% I can give 9%. Similar distributions will be done in your sheet as well. You have again 20 seconds to fulfill the distributing. Now, it's the time for summarizing. The highest point is your field of interest, which is strongly suggested to carry your research in. You should consult with the teacher professor in narrowing down field into the specific topic. Then you can get the primary stages of your investigation. But here, there is another option. Some students prefer to explore the field with less percent of knowledge, as they intend to learn much while preparing the research.
Now students, to the ending of our tape script. You have listened to the tape and it will be task for you to answer the questions. Let's go on continue our lesson. Your homework will be to learn new words and to do exercises. It doesn't require to mugging up or memorizing. Some people has inborn talent as memorizing capacity, even they read it once, but for others it's very hard. Don't be bookworm. Think innovative and learn all things practically. When you practically learn something, then you doesn't need to cram and stress your brain. When you learn that practically, then you can save the time instead of memorizing or marking up. Develop a better understanding. Just by reading a concept or a statement will not help you to develop your knowledge, even though it may be explained in a good manner. You can understand it only by applying the concept in practical manner. It can't forget by yourself even if you try. So try to understand the concept to get good skills instead of marking up. Improve skills. Training, exercising, innovation are meant to improve the skills. It couldn't come out through theoretical knowledge. Simply the books will not help you to do things practically. Hearing and reading some other education news, India will help you to know about all things which are happening all around the world apart from the book. It's more interesting and easy. In school days, we have learned something in our chemistry lab with some colorful salt solution which makes us more interesting to do even if they are right or wrong. But if some students like geography, means they just studied the weather conditions. In book only, they never go for a hill station to view the climate changes. While practically knowing about something, it makes us to understand easily and too interesting. Can motivate teamwork. While doing the practical session, we can do it as team and share our knowledge with friends will enhance our skills high. You can practice it as fun in each other's company and there is no boring. You can able to know about teamwork and coordinations. A theory can be proved by experiment, but no path leads from experiment to the birth of theory. Albert Einstein. There is nothing more practical than a good theory. Nothing is as practical as a good theory. Thank you for watching. I hope the lesson was useful for you. Goodbye.